we work with parents of children with intellectual disability, which is also called learning disability. The children we see also present behaviours of concern. Their parents have told us that the 3 reasons for behaviour concept is useful and easy to understand. And it's a good start to positively manage behaviours of concern. So we would like to share this with other parents and hope that this short video helps you to understand why behaviours of concern are useful to the person and thus repeated.
Hi, my name is Jane Plimmer and I'm a registered nurse for people with learning disabilities. I've worked with adults and children with learning disabilities for the past 20 years.
Hi, my name is Bob Johnson and I have worked with people who present behaviours of concern for more than 40 years. Given our work experience, the focus of this video will be people with intellectual disability, but the principles can be applied to anyone. In our experience, to better manage behaviours of concern, first you need to understand why the person presents such behaviours. Actually, we are talking about any behaviour of concern, but some examples are verbal or physical aggression, such as hitting, kicking or scratching. But other behaviours include throwing or breaking objects, screaming, running away or throwing themselves to the floor, self-harming such as head hitting, repetitive behaviours such as rocking, vomiting or spitting, to name but a few. It could be any behaviour of concern.
It may seem a bit strange to think that a problem behaviour is useful for the person, but nearly always, if a behaviour of concern is repeated, it will be useful because it helps to gain something, avoid something, or to cope with something. These are the 3 reasons for behaviour. Amazingly, all conscious behaviour can be grouped under these 3 headings. Often, the same behaviour is used for all 3 reasons.
There are very few conscious behaviours which may fall outside of these 3 headings. Of course, we might be more sophisticated and say that behaviours are also presented to gain social contact, are self-stimulatory, demand avoidant, regulate emotions, or act as an ego defence mechanism. But when you strip away the jargon, behaviours either gain or avoid things or help you to cope. It's as simple as that.
To gain contact from another person, to gain any form of emotional response from another person, because some children may enjoy, need, or want to have that response. To gain a desire such as food, toy, or DVD. To gain any kind of positive feeling such as a sense of security, or pleasure, or sensory feedback.
Avoiding certain places such as school or a party. Avoiding a task like putting toys away or doing schoolwork or chores. To get away from an unpleasant experience such as the shops or visiting the doctors. To avoid any kind of demand placed upon the person. This can include any request to do something, no matter how nicely you ask. to avoid or bring to an end any kind of unpleasant feeling, such as anxiety, pain or fear, or to avoid the experience of failure.
Coping with any kind of loss, which may include grief, but also the loss of a treasured possession. Having to cope with physical pain such as toothache, earache or constipation, or to cope with a change of a familiar routine. In summary, we are talking about coping with any unpleasant feeling or emotion that cannot be avoided.
What all of the three reasons have in common is that the behaviour is in some way very useful for the person. If the person has limited verbal language or problem-solving skills, but finds a behaviour which is useful to sort out their needs and wants, they will be reluctant to give that behaviour up. While ever the behaviour is so useful, it will be repeated again and again. So, until that is, you can support the person to sort out their problems, needs and wants in different ways.
Identifying the specific reasons why the behaviour is useful is essential because it will provide the basis to develop new ideas to support the person. For example, you will be more aware of the situation that triggered the behaviour and thus be in a better position to prevent or manage these situations. You will be more aware of what new skills the person will require to cope with their problems, needs and wants. You will be aware why the behaviour is useful and thus in a better position to make it less useful or even not work at all.
Unless you help the person to find a new behaviour that replaces the old behaviour to gain, avoid or to cope, it will be difficult to change the old behaviour. To help you find the reasons for a behaviour, you can keep a record of when the behaviour is presented. By doing this, you will identify the most common reasons for the behaviour and the main areas which you will need to concentrate upon to manage the behaviour for the better. By doing this, you can target your energies at the most frequent triggers and situations for the behaviour.
You can find a free copy of this form at www.mapbehaviour.com, along with many other free resources to help you understand and manage behaviours of concern. We hope you have found this short video useful. Thanks for listening.